We had spent the evening mapping out the rest of our lives in the half-light of the living room. The city outside was quiet, as though it too were listening. Ethan lay on the rug, head propped on one elbow, sketching imaginary floor plans on the back of an old electricity bill. I sat cross-legged opposite him, our knees touching, our glasses of wine forgotten. "Timber beams," he said, drawing a confident line. "Big windows facing east so the kitchen floods with sunrise. A porch wide enough for 2 rocking chairs and a dog called Jasper." I laughed. "Jasper? We don't even have a goldfish." "We will," he answered, eyes sparkling. "We'll build it board by board, promise by promise." I believed him. The certainty in his voice wrapped around me like a quilt. We had been together 6 years, engaged for 1. We survived a long-distance year, 2 retrenchments, and the cancer scare that turned out to be nothing. I thought we were indestructible. At midnight he carried me to bed, whispering blueprints into my hair, mudroom, vegetable patch, a skylight above our bed so we could watch storms. I fell asleep hearing hammers, saws, the phantom echo of a future being nailed together. The next morning he left early for work, kissing my temple in the gray light. "Meeting at 8, he murmured. "Back by 6. We'll pick tiles for the bathroom tonight." I smiled, pulled the duvet higher, and listened to his footsteps fade. When I padded to the kitchen an hour later, his computer was open on the counter, screen alive, cursor pulsing like a heartbeat. He never left it unlocked. Security was religion to him. A single browser tab showed an unfinished email. The subject line read, "Exit strategy. My own heart paused. I told myself not to read it. I told myself it was a work project, a thriller novel, a mistake. But the words reached out and caught my wrists. I can't keep pretending. By the time you read this, I'll have cleared my things. The lease ends in July. Perfect timing. She still talks about our home, but I've stopped correcting her. 1 more month should be enough to get the ring back to the jeweler and settle the joint account. I'll tell her after her birthday so the memory isn't ruined forever." Every sentence was a nail in what I had helped carry. I scrolled down, numb, to find a bullet list. Storage unit reserved, flight to Seattle searched, new job contact jail circled in red. The email was addressed to someone named Luke, his best friend, the man who had toasted us at the engagement party, who had cried that I closed the laptop, but the words remained, projected on the inside of my eyelids. I walked to the window where we had stood the night before, pointing out where Jasmine would climb. My reflection looked back, thin and unfamiliar. He texted at noon, meeting running long. "Love you more than porches and puppies." My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped the phone. I stared at the emoji of a house he had added, the tiny heart beside it. I spent the day cleaning, scrubbing grout, folding towels, arranging fresh flowers, as if order could push chaos back into its box. At 5 he sent another message. "On my way home, can't wait to see your smile." I sat on the sofa, hands folded, heart hammering against my ribs like a bird throwing itself at glass. When he walked in, arms full of Indian takeout, he paused at the sight of me. "You okay, babe?" I nodded toward the laptop, still closed on the coffee table. "You left it open." The color left his face in an instant. The bags of food slipped, containers bursting like small bombs across the hardwood. Neither of us moved to clean them. "I was going to tell you," he whispered. "When?" My voice sounded far away. "After my birthday? After we picked tiles." He ran a hand through his hair, the same gesture he used when stuck on a crossword. I got scared. Everything felt permanent. It was supposed to be permanent. He sank onto the ottoman, shoulders caving. "I love you, but I'm not built for the life you want. The house, the dog, the forever." I tried. God, I tried. I wanted to rage, to throw the engagement ring at his chest, to list every board and nail of the future he had drawn. Instead, I asked the only question that mattered. "Why did you keep building it with me if you knew you'd leave?" He looked up, eyes glassy. "Because I wanted to want it. Because I thought if I said it enough, I'd become it." Silence stretched, thick as summer air. Outside, a siren wailed, children laughed, the city carried on. Indifferent to homes collapsing quietly. I stood, walked to the bedroom, and pulled the sketch of our imaginary house from the waste bin where I had tossed it that morning. I handed it to him. "Keep it," I said. "You'll need somewhere to hang your guilt." He left an hour later, a single suitcase trailing behind like a tail between legs. I watched from the window as he loaded the car, the same vehicle we had driven to farmers' markets and open house tours. He looked up once, raised a hand, then drove away. The apartment felt suddenly cavernous. I sat on the rug where we had planned our life and let the tears come, Angry, exhausted, cleansing. When they finally stopped, I opened my notebook and began a new list. Cancel venue, notify guests, return gifts, find smaller apartment, adopt goldfish. Name undecided. It's not the blueprint we sketched, but it is a foundation. One I will lay myself, board by board, promise by promise, until the echo of hammers becomes the rhythm of a life I recognize as mine alone.